heading home. Behind the scenes of this photo shoot is complete. Everything did not go according to plan, and it was still a good shoot. What I had for this particular shoot, I had a Sony FX3 as the main camera. I used the DJI RS Mini 3. I had a small mount that allowed me to have an extra handle, so I could have 2 handles. That was a small rig handle, and that had a cold shoe on it, which is where I put the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, and had that connected directly to the camera. The camera was also directly connected to the gimbal. I was able to start and stop the recording directly from the gimbal, so I didn't have to touch the camera. Only time I touched the camera really was when I might have just needed to fix a focus point really quickly, but for the most part, the lens I was using, I forgot to mention, the lens I was using was the Sony 24mm 2.8. I believe that's a compact like G Master lens, or at least G lens. And so the autofocus works really well on that camera. Sometimes I had a lot of people in the scene, and so I didn't know which person I wanted it to focus on. So besides that, it worked out really well. And this was a good test shoot for using the gimbal. It definitely excited me to continue to use a gimbal. If you don't know what a gimbal is or why people use it, it's basically a way to balance the camera. When you're walking around, when you're following people, there's a natural camera shake, unless you can go slow, but usually I have to move really fast with people. I'm following them to where they're going, and when you walk, when you move, right, there's a natural shake that the camera's gonna get, no matter how steady you try to be. It takes a lot of practice to be able to walk and be as steady as possible. And I do the best I can. You can use effects in your editing software to smooth the footage out a little bit, which is what I do when it gets too shaky when I'm trying to move. But sometimes I have to go up and down steps, sometimes going on uneven pavement and different things. Like it's only so much I can do to try to keep the person in focus and the camera steady, and it's a lot. So a gimbal just allows you to be smoother. It's got motors and different things so that when you turn to the right, turn to the left, up and down, and there's all different kinds of tricks and things you can do, but it just allows your shot to be steady. And so it has a little bit more forgiveness, I would say, when you're moving really quickly. If you watch my other video, I told you the reason I haven't used it, because I usually have to do photo and video, and having to switch back and forth, it's really hard to do on a gimbal, or possibly impossible when you have to go from vertical to horizontal all the time, which is what I have to do when I'm using one camera. So I might be using 2 cameras on the next shoot to see if I can figure this out. One thing I couldn't figure out before we got started was how to really have an external monitor. I wanted to connect the camera that I had to a bigger monitor to be able to like check focus and all that stuff on just a bigger screen. The HDMI cable, the pulling of it, I tried 2 different types of cables, and they just were not able to they were not able to let me balance the camera correctly on the gimbal. So I ended up just not using the external monitor. I just ended up using the camera, the back of the screen of the camera. And because we weren't outside too much, and when I was outside, I was able to find some good shade. It was fine. It worked out completely fine to be able to just use the back of the camera, the screen that was already on the camera. With this next shoot that I have, I'm going to bring the gimbal. I think I can come up with a good plan for New York to be able to use the gimbal and still have a second camera body for photo and not weigh myself down with it too much, because really holding that gimbal with one hand when I just needed to kind of put it to the side or I wasn't recording, it wasn't super heavy. In LA today, flying out tomorrow. Won't be across the country for too long, but you know, it'll be a fun gig. Another first. 12 years into video creation, video producing, and I can still have a lot of firsts. That's really nice. It's nice to do new things. So it won't be my first time in New York at all, but it'll be my first time doing behind the scenes, getting ready for this particular event. And if you subscribe to the channel, you'll know which event I'm talking about, because I can talk about things after they happen, not before they happen. So you gotta stay tuned. You know, I have to keep it a little bit mysterious, and then once you see the next video, or you know, the next couple videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like I said, I think the shoot went well. I was really recording like hair and makeup getting done, photo shoot of the dress and the different things, just recording all the behind the scenes of what was going on. A lot of funny moments, a lot of fun moments. The video will be in the description and linked on this channel, on this video itself. You could probably go up to the right hand corner and click and find it. Now the next piece is I'm heading home. I need to finish packing for this New York trip, have everything ready so that my head is clear, and then I can just knock this edit out. Like I said earlier, I can't really talk about the shoots until they're complete and they're made public and all the different things. So subscribe to the channel so you can actually see after the fact, like mystery revealed, what I was recording in LA and in New York and everything. Once the video's up, it'll be in the description. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.